Hi, I'm Alex Ronsley and welcome to another season here of The Week That Was, our weekly video recap show of all the news, interviews and highlights for the Powell River Kings over the last set of 7. And that last set of 7 saw the Kings head to the island for the first time this season. Friday night in Victoria, Saturday night in Nanaimo, finishing up the road trip Sunday afternoon against the Alberni Valley Bulldogs. Now, it was a tough trip, no doubt, for the Kings, but absolutely something to build on as the season progresses. We'll begin with our show here today with highlights from the game Friday night in Victoria. It was the home opener for the Grizzlies and a real air of change at the Bear Mountain Arena in Victoria, as so much had changed from last season for the organization. New ownership, a new general manager, and a new coach, and a new sense of optimism this year for Victoria.
Now to his brother, Miles. Leo wants it, near side, gets it from his brother on the hash marks. Half wall to the point for De Jong. Big slap shot, didn't let it go. Brings it back to the point. Wrist shot, scores! Nolan De Jong gets the Grizzlies on the board and it's 1-0. Spinning and trying to clear it out of the zone was right out. Scarth will pick up the crumbs and he'll go for a skate. Kings here, 4 wide as they're crossing the center ice. And now Richardson, wide shot and a save there by Rollo. DuPont, crumbs, shot, scores! Matthew DuPont somehow finding a hole through Brady Rollo, and the Kings tie this up right after the power play to the Grizzlies. It is 1-1. So it's 2. Lawson's gone to the tunnel. And Walchuk's in the box. The Kings have 2 to work with. Richardson wins the draw. Kings 0 for 1 tonight on the power play. Burns, long shot, loose puck to the side. Scarth scores! Matthew Scarth, second of the season on a rebound out in front from Brady Rollo. And the Kings take their first lead of the game with 12:28 remaining. It's 2-1. Nicholson watching him. De Jong, center ice, starting up, skating freely. Nolan De Jong forced to the outside, into the middle. The shot, scores! Great heads-up play from Nolan De Jong as he found Miles Powell on the back doorstep. All he had to do was tip it in, and it is a 2-2 hockey game. Urban missed him and cleared the line, and this will just about do it. With 11 seconds left, Joyul will have to wait for overtime unless the Grizzlies can score in the next 6 seconds. Fitzgerald's are on. Leo Fitzgerald, a shot just crossing the goal line. They score! Oh my goodness! 0.6 seconds left on the clock. The Grizzlies appear to have a game-winning goal.
No real other way to describe the end of that game other than heartbreak for the Kings, conceding the game-winning goal with just 0.6 seconds left on the clock as Leo Fitzgerald able to sneak one through Nanaimo and have it trickle over the line. The Grizzlies win their home opener by a score of 3-2. Matt DuPont and Matthew Scarth with the goals for the Kings. So the next night, it was on to another home opener as the Kings in town to face the Nanaimo Clippers as they kick off their 40th season. And it is a big year for the Nanaimo franchise. Not only their 40th year in existence, but also they are hosting the Western Canada Cup coming up at the end of the season. That replaces the Doyle Cup for the BC and Alberta teams, also joining in with the Saskatchewan and Manitoba champions. More on that through the end of the season, but Saturday night, the Kings in Nanaimo to take on the Clippers. It was the Kings to get the game's first goal in the second period after a tight but scoreless opening 20 minutes.
Burnt out or turned off suddenly, and now Wah in the corner. Anyway, it's a little duller, but we're back in action here as Norgard, shot, loose puck, Joyul scores! Matthew Joyle's first BCHL goal. The Kings on the power play just 14 seconds in take the lead for the first time tonight. Oh, we see that clearly. It's 1-0. And now Taylor quickly over for Sturis. Half a step behind. Fan on a shot. Puck trickling through. They score. Emo lost sight of it and then a broken play. Clippers are on the board here. It's a 4-on-4 goal. Brendan Taylor scores his first of the season. Clippers with a bit of pep in their step here as Emo made a save. Rebound sat out in front. Cleared into the corner. Now Fraser looking for a man up. That's McNicklin, Shot. Rebound. Back out. Dahl on the shot. They score! Colton Darlin taking advantage of a big loose puck out in front. Clippers back-to-back goals here, 4-on-4. And it is a 2-1 hockey game. Kevin Miller out of the penalty box now. Teams are back to 5-on-5. So the Kings now 1 for 6 as the Clippers are in. Fraser a shot. Loose puck in front. Forbes trying to stuff it in. Scores. Collapse here for the Kings and Jonah Emo as Forbes stuffing that on a second effort. And just like that, they have a 2-goal lead here. It's 3-1 through Forbes' first of the year.
So Matthew Joyol's first BCHL goal, really the only thing for the Kings to celebrate on the evening, as they fell 3-1 to the Nanaimo Clippers. The Clippers were able to score 3 goals in 3 minutes and 24 seconds in the third period for the victory. Former King Brendan Forbes scoring for his hometown team. And another hometown kid, Nanaimo-born Powell River King forward Evan Richardson, had a tough night at the office. Was the victim of a couple of bad hits, one along the corner boards from defenseman Chris Ragus, the other one an open ice headshot from defenseman Chris Newton. Newton was ejected from the game. Richardson left for a few minutes, but was able to return to the contest. But definitely a tough night for him. Now the next afternoon it was over to Alberni Valley to wrap up the road trip. Everything to play for the Kings after missing out on points on the first 2 games of the trip. The Kings fell behind early against the Alberni Valley Bulldogs.
For Wilson, back for Hall, slap shot, high slot toe save by Ostepchuk, looking confident early. Wilson at the blue line, 42 seconds left, they score! Power play goal as a wrist shot from the point. Fresh off the bench, quickly over to Popov, near side, rings that around the boards. Ostepchuk out of his net to play the puck. And now Rideout sends that around behind. Only finds the goal scorer, loose puck out in front. Big rebound, they score! 2 goals back to back here, as it was a long shot again by number 27, Jared Wilson. Brian Law, the captain, making no mistake. Comes back to the point as Van Allen. Wrist shot through some traffic, block a save. By Ostepchuk into the corner it goes. Again for Van Allen, for Goslin. At the point, shot, does they score? Goslin from the point, thought it was going wide, not sure how much that came off. It might have come off the skate of Galiakis. And the Kings have it in the corner, behind the net for Hiff. Scarth pinching down, now for Wah, behind the net for Richardson. On the face-off dot, looking for a lane, finds Scarth, the shot, scores! That one's a no-doubter, as Scarth was denied in the first period. He will not be denied now. It's 7 seconds left on the 5-on-3. The Kings are back in this. It's 3-1 on Scarth's third of the season. As now the Bulldogs trying to go back to work here and restore that 3-goal lead. It's now down to 2 as it's a 3-1 hockey game. As Ripley, blue line, shot, and there Villeneuve in close, they score! JP Villeneuve, back-to-back goals. The Kings give back some of the medicine they've been taking all weekend long. And it's a 3-2 game here with just 1:25 remaining. JP Villeneuve, it's his second of the season. It's 3-2. Villeneuve on the draw, but it's won by the Bulldogs. And Wilson will have the game's puck here as Villeneuve, the shot, scores! Villeneuve on a broken play here, just grabs it in the slot, wrists it home. It's his second of the game, third of the season. Kings tie this one up. It's 3-3. Still with 12:44 to play. This is Richardson comes on to take the draw against Tyrannies. And Tyrannies is the one to take it away from the draw. Is now in the corner. Tyrannies trying to step out in front, stuff it in near side. Loose puck, they score! Broken play goal. It's Galiakis to put it in from the top of the crease. He roofed it and just picked a corner. The puck sits in the vacant cage. The Kings come away with a point, but winless on an island road trip here this weekend.
It looked pretty bad for the Kings as they were down 3-0, but Matthew Scarth and JP Villeneuve able to get the Kings back on an even keel with tons of time to play in the third. The game winner couldn't be had in regulation. It came in overtime. Unfortunately, it was from the Alberni Valley Bulldogs, a scramble in front, and finally a puck fluttering over the shoulder of Braden Ostepchuk in net, who was fantastic all night long for the Kings, but it just happened to pick a top corner. And that was the game, a 4-3 win from the Alberni Valley Bulldogs over the Powell River Kings. The Kings picking up just 1 of 6 on the road this weekend. In terms of the standings in the Island Division, after a couple of weeks of regular season action, obviously still very, very early, but the Victoria Grizzlies holding down top spot in the Island Division right now. 4 of the 5 teams from the division do make the postseason, a new playoff structure. We'll talk about that throughout the season. The Powell River Kings currently in 4th place right now with 4 points after the win against Vernon at the Showcase, and then the 2 overtime losses, one against Surrey and one against the Alberni Valley Bulldogs. And so it comes back here to Powell River for the home opener at the Hat Parker Arena Saturday night, a 7:30 start against the Cowichan Valley Capitals. This game, we've been talking about it all weekend long, is essentially free hockey. You buy your ticket to the game And courtesy of Dominion Lending and Priority One, you get yourself a free roast beef dip with au jus and a drink. So you're going to spend $10 or $15 on dinner before the game anyway. Why not pay for your ticket to the game and get a free dinner before the contest? Kings, Capitals, 7:30 start, Saturday night. Come meet the team. There is a lot of talent to be had on this year's roster. The return matchup comes up Sunday afternoon or 1:30 right here at the Half, also against the Cowichan Valley Capitals. That does it for this week's episode of The Week That Was. We'll have highlights from both of those games, as well as all the news and interviews from the Kings Kingdom during the last set of 7 on next week's show. Bye now.